And we come to the other end, would be the north end of the line, which will be Ebertville over where the J class is sitting, and then around the loop, past the pop-up and over through and into East Davidson Yard. And what we're going to do this morning very quickly is put in some jumper wires just to make it a little bit simpler to power up the yard, so that when we're testing it's not quite so difficult to keep flipping alligator clips from side to side. So I'm going to go grab some wire and then we're going to get under the layout and have a look at that. So here we are underneath East Davidson. We're just commenting up the or at least splicing together all the commons. Did East Davidson a little bit different than we did Lilyburg, where we ran a pair down each set of tracks in the siding, so a red and a black bus down each. In Lilyburg we've just put them in common, so it's the red is the one that we're controlling for our DCC. The DCC is not quite hooked up yet. So these are the connectors, the suitcase connectors that we're using. Just trying to jam these together to jump onto the black bus wire on this particular siding. Trying a little bit with the channel locks today to see whether this is a little bit easier than using the linesman pliers for everything. That sort of gets everything started. Linesman pliers are down here, so get up. Get that compressed together. And we should be able to get that to clip. If not, we'll help it a little bit with the needle nose. There we go. Hear it click. And then we're moving on to the next one. This over here is going to be the relays that will control all of the switch motors for the turnouts. You can see lots of wire. Rotate around, head back down this way towards the turntable and the engine terminal. So typically, I'll slide back along here so you can see. Get along here. So these are the switch motors that we use for controlling the turnouts. They're World War II Army surplus. Actually, I think they're 12 volt DC coils in them. We actually use 24 volt. Try to get them to kick over a little bit faster. These are dropping resistors, so there's a set of contacts in there that we get full voltage to the coil, or I guess there's a kickover coil. There's actually two parts to the coil. I don't know if you can see the three terminals actually in underneath there. And so we have one that's we apply the full voltage to try to kick the coil in, throw the turnout, and then once it's over, the contact opens up on the switch machine, and that allows a lower holding current, so we're not putting as much current through the coil in order to keep it in position when it's thrown. So a lot of wiring that's been done. We've just been working our way through in this yard now to check and make sure we understand. We've got to have a block diagram in terms of how we want to block which ones. So I can't really see it. There's about 5 or 6 that are in one block, and this is one part of the yard, the A side of the yard, B side of the yard. There's 4 or 5 sets that are in that block. The ladder and the receiving tracks are in a separate block, and similarly coming in the engine terminal at over my head here is in a different set of blocks. So we're just about done doing or checking everything out in East Davidson. We'll move over to Ebertville and then it'll be on to Lilyburg, and we'll see how we do there. Okay, that's all from underneath for now. Okay, so we're going to run an engine through the yard now that you've seen underneath it. That's okay, Roy, I'm just talking to myself while I'm doing a video here. Roy's working on fixing up a turnout that we had lots of trouble with last week. And we'll put a little voltage on. And so there's the view 900 coming down the ladder. I have to watch. This one has to be thrown in order to get power down the ladder. Coming down to 60 and up through the ladder, and all polarities being correct. And looks like a little bit of dirty track there. And away we go. On up to the yard. And of course, we need to go on the opposite side. Our alligator clips for some temporary connection. And out the yard. Down the ladder. And we're going to unpower 18. Come back down. Sticky things do not grab well. Anyway, come back. We should come back down go down the opposite. And right over the tape. Yep. Oh well. And great fun. Obviously, the ballast needs to be glued just yet. Got started and not quite finished. Oh, that's why. Try that. There we go. Short of the jumper and back out, and there we have some functioning turnouts. That's the B side of the yard. We're gonna go up and start working on the A side of the yard, and which is the top tracks up here, and see if we can get those functioning.